Hello, welcome to the stream. Big ups. Now then, I'm back, of course. Went live earlier, spoke about flowing bits and how we pulled out of that. But now let's try and talk about tomorrow's game against Bournemouth. Big game. Bournemouth, solid team as well. Finding I wouldn't really say it's form, but been a little bit better as of late, as opposed to what they have been. But look, we know Bournemouth are good. They've beaten us this season. We've beaten them as well, to be fair. But, we've gone below to below with them this season. They've been able to stand up to us, which, look, a lot of teams have been, to be fair. But we have to treat Bournemouth with a lot of respect, even if this is at the Etihad, even if it is KDB's last game, okay, we got to treat this with respect to Bournemouth, because Bournemouth are a very, very good team. As we have learned this season. But yeah, let me know who you want to see in this predicted 11 for the Bournemouth game. Because again, Bournemouth are a good team, good, strong team. They're difficult to beat. A big up to everyone that is tuning in. Again, make sure to leave your thoughts. Pull up the lineup thing now. Oh, can't see anything just yet. And boom, there you go. So, we'll start with goalkeeper, which will probably be Edison, to be fair. I'll be surprised if it's not. It'll more than likely be Eddie between the sticks, as it usually is. Switch that to that real quick. I quite like, I don't know, I quite like to see his goalkeeper kit next season. It is really nice. Big ups to everyone who's tuning in again. For me, you've got to go back to it. I think this back four, at the bare minimum, this back four was doing us some goodness. I don't want to see Kanji shoehorned in, just roll with it. I know I predicted Kanji to play against Palace, but hey, even I'm turning back on that now. It clearly didn't help, The reasons I had him in the team were to try and help us tie it up a bit defensively. Nah. That didn't do that in the slightest, because we still conceded the exact same way. But that's my back five, I guess, if you include the keeper. That's what I'm after. In the pivot, Kova's unavailable. They'll start De Bruyne, so let's just get that done. I want to see Nico. I want to see this again. I want to see Nico Gonzalez. He's not number 16. There you go. Again, I think Nico Gonzalez is solid. I don't know why Pep's got such a lack of faith in him. I don't know what it is. And I want to see Gundo too. I trust Gundo. I think these two operate quite well together. I've said that multiple times. I don't even know. I don't know what I want for my front three. I think I am going to go for Haaland, but part of me don't want him in because of the whole Palace situation. Maybe I'm just being silly. Maybe I should just play him for the sake of it anyway. But I don't know. Part of me just like, no, I don't even want it. Definitely want Marmouche. And right wing, let's go McAtee. I think that could work. And let me know if you got any disagreements on there. go on to Twitter real quick, see if there's any quotes for tomorrow. One of City's assistant coaches, by the way, looks like they very well could be leaving. They've been interviewed by a club. But KDB looks like he's on the way out. I'm going to have a look at Bournemouth's form real quick, actually. A quick look at that. Bournemouth. It's KDB's last game, so we've really got to step up our act, to be honest. So last game loss, then a win at the Emirates, then a draw, a win, a draw, a loss, a draw, a technically win, loss, win, loss, win, draw. Bit inconsistent, haven't they? As of late, anyway, especially. Can't really put a pulse. Can't really put a finger on it. You know, it's not. They're definitely not out of the game. You know, they're not completely without a chance here, because look, they beat Arsenal at the Emirates. You know, they're a solid team, Bournemouth, and they're going to play their way. Clearly called 2 shots on target, both went in. A decent set of players too. Dean Houston is going to Real Madrid in the summer. So look, I think they got a very solid team, Bournemouth, and I think they'll be somewhat confident. I don't know what European football's looking like for them. No, they can't get European football now. That seems to be well out of reach. But they can still finish this season strong. To be honest, I don't think they'll beat us tomorrow. I don't know. They've still got one more game at home, I believe, yet Sunday. So, and I think that'll be like their big game, like to say thank you to all the fans and whatnot. But I think we're gonna get them. I don't know. They haven't been super consistent, you know. Away win. See how their away form is as of late. Win, draw, draw, and well, let's go to the bottom. So, where are we? Win, draw, loss, win. Well, they've only lost one away game out of their last few, to be fair. Like the last 5 away games, they've only lost 1. So the form away isn't actually that bad, with 3 draws and 1 win. So, you know, can't even discredit them there, to be fair. We all know what some of their target players are. I know they lost against Villa, but if we look here, Evan Nilsson solid, Semenyo, he's a wanted man this summer. Kirkez, obviously, you know, he's joining Liverpool, it looks like, in the summer. Dean Houston, solid player. Again, he's even popped up with a couple of big goals for Bournemouth this season, like against Arsenal the other week. So, again, very solid team. Bournemouth forgot, you know, and no doubt this team's going to get somewhat poached in the summer. You know, I'm fully expecting that. And, you know, I think Bournemouth will be happy with that. You know, they like to recycle their talent and, you know, bring in money and try and put it into good areas. So, you know, I don't think that's too bad, to be fair. Again, big ups to everyone that's tuned in so far. Again, make sure to leave your thoughts below. Have a quick look, see if there's any news to talk about. Jack Gorn, he's come out and basically confirmed the withdrawing of our interest in Verts. It's disappointing, but look at it. I've just accidentally switched my screen there. So, apologies. I'm back. Oh, look at my hair. Annoying me. I don't know why I've got that on. Back to it. Display out there. Cyberpunk. I like Cyberpunk. It just isn't for me. It just isn't for me. He's got so many injuries under his belt. Like, why? But look, in terms of my lineup, I'll share it with you one more time. Edison in net, Mateus Nunes right back, Ruben Diaz and Vardio as my centre-back pairing, Nico Riley at left back. I want the pivot of Gundo and Nico. It hasn't played much since Newcastle 4-0, and I really liked it against that, so I want to play it again. I believe Marmoush and Haaland can play together in the same team. You know, Newcastle versus City showed that. And I just think it can work if we just play it right. De Bruyne at the cam, the creators, also his last game of in the Prem for City anyway. So I think he's going to start either way. And James McAtee on the right-hand side with Erling Haaland leading the line. I just hope if we get a penalty, Haaland knows he is the taker. It's a big game this, in a sense. It's probably as big as the FA Cup final in a weird way. No trophy on the line, but it's Champions League football instead. So, we'll have a quick look at the Premier League table before we do actually wrap things up. So, share tab. At the moment, we sit 6th. We got a chance to get away from Forest here. We win tomorrow night. We can get away from Forest, who are equal on us on goal difference. If we win, we're probably guaranteed to be above Forest because of our strong goal difference on them. And then we just got this lot to worry about. These three. It's incredibly tight for this top 5 spaces at the moment. 2 of them are already guaranteed, but it's very tight in this area. So look, we've really got to pull our weight tomorrow. Bournemouth, like I said, good team. They're going to want to end the season on a somewhat strong note. Hopefully, they're somewhat on the beaches as they can't get European football anymore, and so there's nothing they can really do to change that. So I'm just hoping that we can do the business tomorrow against Bournemouth. They're a good team. And I just want better than the FA Cup final because I've been disappointed that 2 FA Cup finals in a row now. Big ups everyone who tuned in. I do appreciate the support a lot, as per usual. You guys are great. So feel free to tune into the next one. If you did enjoy the stream, pop a like on it. And subscribe to the channel if you're keen on more, and turn on the notification bell if you don't want to miss the next stream, which will be tomorrow night, obviously doing a live watch along on this game. Big ups to everyone who tuned in. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one.